Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pop the hood on the Java Developers Toolkit and really get to know the core packages that power pretty much every single application you'll ever build.
So if you're getting into Java, you've definitely had that moment, right? You're just staring at this massive library of classes and functions, completely overwhelmed. It feels like someone just handed you a gigantic, messy toolbox and said, good luck.
Well, the way Java solves this problem is actually pretty elegant. It's called the package system. You can think of it like a perfectly organized set of blueprints for building software. It's how Java takes all that potential chaos and makes sense of it.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to walk through this using our Developers Toolkit idea. We'll start with the blueprint that gives us structure, then look at the unseen foundation, grab our essential toolbox, hook everything up to the outside world, and finally, add those all-important finishing touches.
Okay, so what is a package, really? Because it's so much more than just a folder on your computer. You got to think of it as the master plan, the organizational blueprint that lets you build big, solid, and manageable applications.
And using them gives you these 4 huge wins. First, they manage namespaces. Now that's just a fancy way of saying they prevent name collisions, so your user class doesn't get confused with some other library's user class. They also let you group related code together, which makes everything logical and easy to reuse. And, maybe most importantly, they let you control exactly who gets to see and use what parts of your code.
You know, every great building needs a rock-solid foundation, even if you never see it. In Java, that foundation is the java.lang package. It is the invisible bedrock that every single Java application is built on top of.
This thing is so fundamental, you never even have to type import java.lang. Java just knows. It does it for you, automatically, every single time. Why? Because it's got the absolute essentials, like the object class, the ultimate ancestor of literally everything in Java. Every piece of code you write, its family tree goes all the way back to here.
And inside this foundation, you find some really crucial tools. Take a look at the difference between string and string builder. A string is kind of like text carved in stone. It's immutable. Once you make it, you can't change it. A string builder, on the other hand, is like a whiteboard. It's flexible, you can erase and rewrite things, and it is way more efficient if you're building a long piece of text inside a loop.
This package also gives us these things called wrapper classes. Now, what they do is super important. They let you treat simple data types, like a number, as if they were a full-blown object, and that's what lets you put them inside powerful data structures. Oh, and here's the cool part. Java handles this for you with a feature called autoboxing. It literally automatically puts that simple value inside its object box. It's one of those little things that just makes your life so much easier.
Okay, so our foundation is poured. Now, every builder needs a toolbox, right? Well, for a Java developer, that toolbox is the one and only java.util package.
I mean, this package is the real workhorse of your day-to-day coding. It is packed with useful stuff, but its absolute crown jewel is the collections framework. This is your powerful, standardized set of tools for storing and working with groups of objects.
And the whole point here is choosing the right tool for the job. So let me ask you, do you need an ordered list where you might have duplicates, kind of like a shopping list? Then you want an array list. Or do you just need to keep track of a set of unique items, like guests at a party, where you can't have the same person listed twice? That is a textbook case for a hash set.
This table really lays out the differences between the big 3. See that duplicates row? ArrayList doesn't care, but HashSet is a stickler for uniqueness. And here's the real key. Look at access. With an array list, you grab items by their number in line, their index. But with a hash map, you use a unique key to look something up, just like looking up a word in a dictionary. Getting this right is a huge leap toward writing really good, efficient code.
All right, our structure is up, we've got our tools organized, now it's time to run the plumbing and wiring. We need to install the infrastructure that connects our application to the big wide world.
And that's where these 3 key packages come in. Just think of it like this. Java.io lets your app read and write files on the computer. Java.net lets it talk to other computers over the internet. And Java.sql is your direct line for talking to databases.
Now, when you're working with files in java.io, it is so important to know the difference between byte streams and character streams. Byte streams are for raw data. Think images, sound files, anything binary. Character streams are built specifically for text, and they know how to handle all the weirdness of different language encodings so your text doesn't turn into garbage.
And when you're connecting to a database with JDBC, which just stands for Java Database Connectivity, it's this simple, reliable four-step dance. You connect, you create your statement, you execute the query, and then, and this last step is absolutely critical, you process your results and you always close your resources. Seriously, forgetting to close them is a classic rookie mistake that can leak resources and bring your whole application crashing down.
Okay, we're almost there. No project is really finished without the finishing touches, right? You need a good lock on the door and a nice polished look.
And that's what these last two packages are for. They're all about making your application feel robust and professional. So, Java.security is like installing a high-tech alarm system, and Java.text is like giving the whole thing a fresh coat of paint.
So for example, with Java.security, we can take some super sensitive data, like a password, that you should never, ever, ever store as plain text. And we can run it through a process to create a secure, irreversible hash. What's that mean, irreversible? It means it's a one-way street. You can't go backwards from this garbled text to the original password. It's perfect for security, because all you have to do is compare the hashes.
And then you've got Java.text. It lets us take something like this raw date from the computer, which, let's be honest, looks pretty messy to a normal person.
And with just a simple pattern, turn it into something clean, professional, and easy for your users to read. See? It's all about that final polish.
So when you start to see Java this way, its massive library stops being this overwhelming, scary thing, and it turns into what it really is, a powerful and incredibly well-organized toolkit. So the real question isn't what Java can do, it's what are you going to build with it?